What's up, YouTube? This is Paul Matias here, coming at you with yet another YouTube video. I think I need another introduction, you guys. What do you guys think? My whole photo with music thing, I don't know if it's cutting it for me anymore. Anyways, that's besides the point. Today we're talking about the T.REX ARMS SIDECAR holster. This is an appendix carry holster. I find it to be a pretty popular pick, and I'm going to tell you the good and the bad with it. So let's dive right in, you guys. The first thing is it looks great. I got it here in the carbon fiber finish on the front, and I believe this is called like lime green or neon green. I can't remember exactly on the back plate. I think it looks fantastic. I personally like carbon fiber look on all of my holsters, and I'll say pretty much about 90% of my holsters have that carbon fiber finish. So this is a highly capable holster. This holster allows you to put your firearm in and allows you to carry an extra magazine. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that real quick here. We have an empty Springfield XD. This is my personal firearm. I have it with a pierce grip extension just because I like it. So we'll go ahead and insert it here, and let's go ahead and put an extended mag in. Oh, you know what? I was putting it in the wrong way. Sorry about that, you guys. I mean, that is a lot of firepower. This is 30 rounds. If I had this fully loaded, the magazines aren't loaded up right now, but it will carry 30 rounds, which is very high for something to be concealed. The next thing is it has some great features. So if you can see on the holster itself, we have some high quality parts here. We have those standard, I don't know what they call them. I think they're called like J clips or something like that because they have that hook there. And then we also have this claw here, which is particular to the T.REX holster. It basically pushes up against your belt buckle and allows the holster to come in more, so when your gun is inside of it, typically the handle is what sticks out of your t-shirt and shows your firearm. So that claw pushes up against the belt, brings the butt of the gun a little bit closer to your body so it doesn't print as much. I find it conceals pretty well given the capacity and the capability of it. Obviously the capacity changes based on whatever firearm you're sticking inside of this thing and what kind of magazine you're carrying with you. I guess in theory you could carry that Glock 30 round magazine in this thing, but you'd have a really hard time concealing that. So it's a high quality unit. The pieces that assemble it are not cheap. You know, you're not getting some kind of BS kind of rubber bushings, or the screws aren't cheap. The Kydex is obviously very firm. It's not kind of bendy. It does have a little bit of flexibility to it, but I like that. If you're gonna stick this in the front of your pants, you don't want something that's super rigid and won't bend with your body. So it's got some overall high quality construction to it. It doesn't feel like a cheap piece of shit. And obviously you're paying a good amount for it, so it shouldn't feel like that. It is a fairly easy unit to take on and put off. Basically, you just slide this into your pants, you lift up these belt clips and clip it onto your, hopefully, gun belt. You should have a gun belt. But you clip it onto your belt and that's it. And to take it off, it's the same thing. You just pull it right out. Another good feature of this is the cut of the Kydex. This is something that's super important. Sometimes people kind of overlook it, but the cut of the Kydex is very important. They left this gap here so you can get a purchase on your firearm. As you can see there, I can get my whole hand on it. So when I pull the gun out, okay, I have a full purchase on the gun. I'm not grabbing it. Some of the other holsters I have only let you get like a half purchase on the gun, and then you gotta pull it out like this and then readjust. This is particularly important on a Springfield XD because, or any Springfield that has this kind of safety here, backstrap safety, because if you don't get a full purchase on the firearm, guess what? It's not shooting. Because if you try to go like this and grab it here, even though hypothetically speaking you can shoot from this position, if you grip it firm enough, you know, you're not going to be able to. So that's really important for me. Additionally, I do like how they cut a slot here for the magazine release. Those of you who may be scared of, pressing the magazine on accident when you're pulling out the gun or something like that, don't worry about it. It's never happened to me. And so let's go ahead and put this back in here. You can choose your orientation on how you want the rounds to face. I like the rounds facing the gun because when you are doing a reload, you pull this out, drop it, slap it right in there, and you're ready to go again. If you have it the other way, it's kind of a little bit funky and it's not as smooth. It obviously doesn't look as smooth on video because I'm trying to do this looking through a video camera, and it is not as nice as in real life, but you can throw that reload in there super quick. Another thing that's not basically about the company themselves, I'm sorry, not about the holster itself, but it is about the company, is that they do offer expedited order for law enforcement and military. So that's really nice. You'll get your order a little bit sooner if you are a law enforcement officer or involved in the military. Let's go to the bad. So the bad with this holster is it is custom, which means there is no return policy if it doesn't fit comfy. My only gripe about this holster is that it's pretty bulky. Obviously carrying a firearm is bulky. The holster itself is thin, but when you kind of add the whole combo in and load this thing up with 30 rounds and the whole 9 yards, it gets a little bulky. It feels like you're kind of carrying a Kydex fanny pack in your pants, and I just shy away from this holster just because of that, unfortunately. I find that these pressure points here, so this is supposed to go obviously appendix style. It's supposed to fit right in between that natural V line of your pelvis area, if I'm getting that right. Anyways, when you put this in your pants, you can raise or lower the height depending on how high or low you'd like this to ride. But I find no matter basically what position I try, these bottom edges here kind of push up against a pressure point on my body, and that may be just because it's my body type, but it makes it uncomfortable for me. And if the holster is uncomfortable for me, I'm just straight up not going to wear it. And even though it's such a nice holster and I really wanted this to work out for me, I'm going to end up selling this holster, I think. So it can be also a little bit of a challenge to prevent from printing on your t-shirts. I like to stay fashionable, and I don't like to walk around wearing some kind of Hawaiian shirt or some kind of shirt that's 2 sizes too large for me just because I'm carrying a firearm. I typically wear a slim fit t-shirt, and this can print a little bit. The main areas where it prints is obviously going to be this here, and the butt of the gun. It kind of doesn't look like you're having a gun, that you have a gun on you per se, but it does like push your shirt out, and it has that bulk in your shirt. So for those of you who carry, you can kind of relate to that. You'll have like this bulk area. Because this is so wide and covers a large area of space, when you have a t-shirt over this, it just looks like extra bulk. And it doesn't look natural, but it also doesn't look like you're carrying a firearm. I've carried this a few times. I've never had anybody think I was carrying a firearm. Again, most people don't even look at you long enough to look and see if you have a firearm. If you think about how long you look at somebody in the public, it's probably like less than 1 second of a glance that you take a look at them. So you're probably not going to be staring at their belly. So can you get away with it? Yes, I think you can. If you like to wear slim fit t-shirts, you're going to have a little bit harder of a time carrying this thing. But overall, you guys, I do like the holster. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work for me. And the shame is that it's custom, so I can't return it. So it leaves me with a couple options. Basically, I'm going to try eBay. The only problem with eBay is they take like 10%. So no matter what, I'm going to take a loss on this holster. And because it's custom, it has to go to somebody who has a Springfield XD. I think you can get away with using one of the larger barrel versions. One of the more full-size handguns in this holster still. It just might stick out the bottom a little bit, but it'll still work, I'm sure. Same thing with the Glocks. I saw a video on a guy who has 3 different types of Glocks with the same T.REX holster, and it works just fine. So overall, you guys, let me know if you have this holster. Let me know what your thoughts are about this review. If you have any additional questions, definitely comment. If you do like my content, I'd appreciate if you subscribe. I'm going to try to be posting lots more content in the future. I might go something more motorcycle related, so we're going to see how that plays out. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.